Hi everyone. A few people have asked me a few questions about Mesa because they've seen me on stream and they've seen me like just owning it up. So I want to go over a few things when it comes to Mesa's regulators. Most people ask me questions on like, what mod should I put on first? I always put on Hornet Strike first. Some weapons, depending on how it works, you want to put the multi-shot mod on first. Most shotguns are that way. And how you can figure that out is look at your total damage, which is higher, with Hornet Strike on or multi-shot. But these 5 basic mods you should always have on your Mesa, no matter what build or what purpose you're using it for. Now, some people may ask you, or when you use the same build as I do, well, why didn't you go for high status? Status, you only need to do it 1 time a second. While you look at this, you're shooting, let's see, 24 bullets a second, and you're at 25%. That means every 4 bullets, it's going to proc. So it's going to proc 6 times, roughly 6 times a second. You don't need more status. You need more flat damage. And when you're going flat damage, you want to try and put this number as high as you can get it. So you can see I got minus 71.8% at 6.3. Now to figure out how much it's doing roughly, how much damage it's doing on average, it's about 30% off from being 100%. So what we do is we take 10% of the crit multiplier, which would be 0.63, times that by 3, which would be roughly 1.8. So I'm probably doing around close to a 5 crit multiplier per second. It's a little lower, probably about 4.7. I don't got a calculator here, so I don't know the exact numbers. I mean, if you really want me to, I can figure those out, but I don't care to. This number right here on Mesa 1.8, I have never seen her reload, so ignore this number. This number is completely useless. Magazine 100, again, I've never seen Mesa reload, so don't worry about these two numbers. They do not matter. The only time they matter is when you're figuring out real DPS calculations after you run out of bullets and stuff like that. What's your DPS going to be like? How long you have to reload? Like some shotguns take an eternity to reload. Anyways, back to what we were saying. Talking about. Some of them you're going to notice I put Auger Pact on. Some of you guys will be like, well no, I don't want to put Auger Pact on there. And notice this one, I didn't put it on there. If you guys, I've spent painstaking hours in the Simulacron trying to find the most damage I can put out with Mesa, depending on what I was shooting at. And that can change, like this one can change dramatically depending on what you're shooting at. Let me show you the example. Now you have to have a few upgrades from Cephalon Samaris to have some of the stuff I'm looking at. Because I believe that you have to have some upgrades to be able to see what I'm seeing right here. See right there where it says shield 500 and it gives the different damages. Now each plus symbol is 25%. Each minus symbol is 25%. Like for example, if you look at alloy armor, radiation does 75%. But when you look at shield, it does negative 25%. Now, how you figure out all those damage numbers, go find a mathematician. I'm not going to sit there and figure those numbers out for you. But these are the most highest ones I've done. I sit here, I just go in the Simulacron and get a stopwatch. And I sit there and figure out which one does the most damage, and how I figure that out is how quickly it kills it. And then I write the number down. And then I just keep doing that until I finally figure out what does the most damage. And then I keep with that. And I try and do it a roundabout way. Like I said, when you Corpus, you're sometimes going to want to change... Crap. You're going to want to change these guys here, depending on what you're fighting. Because let's say you're fighting with Corpus. Let's see, Corpus... Magnetic would make it so that you do a lot of damage to shields. Some enemies have lots and lots of shield. Some don't. Some of them have really high health, humanoid health, like your Corpus Crewman. Actually, not your Corpus Crewman, your Corpus Techs. They're gonna have really high HP, so you probably want to use Viral on them, like if you're fighting the Corpus humanoid bosses. But let's say you're fighting the Corpus robotic dudes. Well, you'd want to go for robotic, and so you'd want to throw radiation on there. Anyways, you guys can sit there and try and figure out what does the most damage for you. If you find out something better than what I've already got here, go for it. Like I said, I don't know everything about Warframe. I'm still learning. And I'm Master Rank 24.